What we have here today is homemade prime rib, bacon wrapped asparagus, and homemade baked potatoes. Does it get any better than this? No, it does not. So the key to great prime rib actually starts at the grocery store. I used to work at a steakhouse when I was in college, and one of my bosses used to say all the time, you can't make a bad piece of meat taste good. So the key is finding a good piece of meat to start with, which is hard to do these days. And if you can't find a good piece of meat, you're better off, instead of buying a bad prime rib, you're better off buying a good pork chop. It'll be cheaper, it'll taste better. Pork chops are underrated in my opinion anyways, but what we're looking for with prime rib is good marbling. And marbling is the fat that runs through the meat that keeps it from drying out, keeps it nice and moist while you're cooking it. Now, one thing that not everybody knows is ribeye and prime rib is actually the same cut of meat. I'm gonna let you soak that in. I know a lot of you are like, yeah, of course I knew that, and a lot of you are like, so what that means is, what you can do is use that to your advantage. So when you're shopping and you're looking at the ribeyes and you notice that some of the ribeyes have really good marbling, you can use that to remind yourself to immediately go check the prime rib, because there's a chance that if you look, you'll find the other half of those ribeyes that didn't get chopped up in that pile. That's just a good tip. It doesn't always work, but it has worked for me a couple of times. Today we're using Montreal seasoning, sometimes called Canada seasoning. You can literally find that in almost any grocery store in America. We've also got a 3-bone 6-pound rib roast. We're gonna take a little olive oil and put that down first, and that's gonna act as a binder for our rub. And then you just wanna make sure you generously apply the rub to the entire surface of the meat. And after that, I mean, that's really all there is to it when it comes to prepping the rib roast. Potatoes are even easier. This is a recipe I picked up when I used to work at Outback Steakhouse. Basically, you take room temperature butter and smear it on the potatoes with your hands, and then come back with, well, at Outback they used rock salt at the time. That was 20 years ago, so they probably do something healthy now. Is there a healthy salt? Healthy salt. So they probably use their healthy salt now, but back then we used to smear them down with butter, and then we would cover them up with rock salt. I'm using Himalayan pink salt. I don't know what makes it pink. It was at Costco, y'all. And then we gotta do our asparagus, because up to this point we have not hit all the basic food groups. So we've got our meat group, we got our potato group, we do not have our bacon group. So we'll take 3 spears each and wrap them each in a half a slice of bacon, and we'll cook that alongside everything else, and it's gonna be great. So here we are out at the summit, and one of the things I really like about this grill is this charcoal grate can be raised or lowered. So right now it's in the upper position. If I wanted to, I can lower it, and then I could put the heat deflector here. But in this case, I've got it raised up because I'm gonna set this up to use just like a normal Weber kettle. So right here I've got black diamond charcoal, and you know what, I decided on this cook I'm gonna actually just do some plugging, because I know, I don't normally do a lot of plugging on my channel, but some of these are great companies and I'd like to promote them. It's Christmas time, I'm sure you guys are looking for Christmas presents. I don't get paid a dime. Some of these companies sent me products for me to try out, but they're not paying for this, they're not expecting this. I just want to do this to help them out and to help you out. But this is a really good charcoal. Oftentimes people ask me why I don't use lump more often in my cooks, and it's because often lump these days does not behave like lump is supposed to. I mean, basically I find it to be very ashy and very smoky and hard to light sometimes, and this is none of that. This is a really, really good charcoal. So I've got all this set up to one side. On the other side here, I've got this. This is the new drip pan by Adrenaline Barbecue Company, and I think some of you guys know I do video work for them on the side. They didn't ask me to do this. In fact, I'm using this because it fits. It looks like it was made for it. But this is 304 stainless steel. It's almost 4 pounds. Really easy to clean. You can use that as a drip pan, or you can use it as a griddle. It's like I said, it's called the Drip and Griddle, and I'll put a link to that in the description. So we'll light this up, and then I'm gonna use this. This is my Craycort cast iron grate. If you like cast iron, this is a great product. And I know they've been around for a few years, so a lot of people know this, but it's top notch, high quality. They have inserts that you can put into each of these little squares. There's 4 little squares, and I've got like a chicken roaster and a griddle for this one. I'll probably use that in a future cook, but you know, the key thing here is it is cast iron, so you need to keep it oiled, keep it used, or else it'll start to rust on you. But if you take care of it, it'll last forever. It does a great job of not only putting sear marks on your meat, but also regulating temp. It's a big heat sink, so once it warms up, it helps maintain temps inside your grill. It's a really nice product. So when it comes to lighting your grills, I know there's a lot of great products on the market. I'm just sort of partial to flamethrowers. So for smoke wood today, I'm using 1 large hickory chunk. I'm also gonna set the temps right around 225 to 250. That's my goal. I'll set the vents and make adjustments from there. I'm monitoring the temps on the new Thermoworks smoke thermometer, which if you haven't had a chance to check out, you should. We did a review on it right after it came out, which actually got published on the Amazing Ribs site. I'll link to that in the bottom, and it'll tell you all the details about it. It's a great thermometer. You should check it out. It's really cool. I think it's the best $100 you can spend on a barbecue related thermometer. It's amazing. Okay, so it's definitely gonna get dark on me. I'm gonna go ahead and put this roast in place here. And then I'm gonna take my thermometer here. I'm gonna try to place this where the thermometer goes halfway, just right in the middle of the meat. So that'd be about right, I don't know if you can see that, about right there. So we're gonna go in on that side, go about that far. Hopefully we can get the lid closed. And then our potatoes, just gonna pack these in around here. And they're gonna cook along with the prime rib. I'll come back later. I'll probably have to remove this to make space for the asparagus, but we'll make it happen. Like I said, I'm shooting for 225 to 250. And then at the end, the plan is to do a reverse sear, but we'll see where we're at that point. So I was able to get everything on here. We have our potatoes over here, we have our prime rib here, we have our bacon wrapped asparagus here, and then here and here, which I'm not sure you can see over here, we've got our bacon, which we are smoking for the potatoes. And I'm really excited about this. I gotta be honest, there's a lot of things in this grill to like right now. I'm glad you came along for the ride. I look forward to showing you the final product if I don't end up forgetting and eating the whole thing first. So this is the 1 hour update. It is pitch black out here. I rigged up some lights and switched to a lens that's a little better in low light, and I'm hoping this looks okay. Oh, wow, that looks pretty good actually. All right, bonus, good. So our internal temp is around 85 degrees, and I don't think I mentioned this earlier, but we're looking to get to 125 to 129 before I do the reverse sear. So it looks like everything's going along right as it should. I'll keep you posted. We're at 170 degrees right here. 170. We're at 129 degrees right here in this roast. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull it off. Pull that out. I'm gonna go ahead and pull this off, put it on this cutting board. I'm gonna take my bacon with it. So I pulled off the asparagus. To be honest with you, the asparagus was a bit overcooked. I started it too early because I was worried about the light dying, and as it turns out, the only part that was edible was the part that was underneath the bacon. Yeah, so let that be a lesson to you. Anytime anyone tells you bacon is bad, you say, excuse me, sir, bacon is a hero. It saved my asparagus. where we have that, I'm gonna take these potatoes off. Actually, I'm gonna leave these on. They're getting soft. They're not quite there yet. What we're gonna do now is first off, I'm gonna bring out my last product that I wanted to show you guys. Give a little plug to. These are GrillGrates. Let me make sure that I'm focused in on that. These are GrillGrates, and if you're familiar with these, you know, like these put great sear marks on steak. They have these little troughs with these holes in it that prevent flare-ups from happening. They're a really good product, and they store easily because all you have to do is basically just stack them. Stack them up. And they're really easy to store. So a lot of people are familiar with these, but what they you can do use these upside down. But I'm gonna give these a little bit of time to warm up, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna reverse sear this rib roast right on top of these. They're new, so I'm gonna have to oil them up pretty good because otherwise everything sticks to them. But once you get them oiled up, they work really, really great for this. So I'll be right back. All right, so here we go. I'm gonna try this. Oh, that's good. That's really good. You wanna try it?
Yeah.
Okay, go for it. What do you think?
It's actually really good.
You like it?
Uh-huh.
So he likes it, I like it, it's great. So you gotta try this at home. It's a really easy recipe, and take a look at all those products I mentioned early on. Those are all great companies that make great products. I'll put links in the description section below. Thanks for watching. We'll see y'all next time.
Bye. Bye.
Okay, you're gonna look right here, right at that. You're gonna stand here.
Smile.
All right. All right, so here we go.